It is.
All right, good evening, everyone. It is 7:01 calling the what's today, May 26th select board meeting for town of Newcastle, calling to order any amendments to the agenda. Hearing none. Moving on, item 3A, meeting minutes from last meeting, May 11th. Motion to approve.
Yeah, yep. So
So moved.
Second.
Ben, seconded by Karen. Any comments?
they look great.
Edits? Great. All those in favor?
Yep.
Excellent. Item 4, public comments on items not on the agenda. Anybody?
Wow.
Oh, enjoying weather. Okay. Hearing none, moving on. Item 5, presentations, special guests. We don't have anything there. Item 6, unfinished business. 6A, dedication recognition application. Kevin, you want to explain this?
Sure. We received our first application after creating the policy back in January, February timeframe. There was a question from the board to see if the applicant would instead just put a plaque on one of the benches and not have to expand the current asphalts or anything like that. He was amenable to it.
Cool.
And then I have a follow-up email and as an attachment there that just expresses what he was looking to do. So it's a 9x12 or 9x13 plaque that would sit on the front and the back, recognizing
Small one on the front, small like.
small one on the front, a little larger on the back, because it would also identify his mother and father, grandfather,
Grandparents, both
grandparents,
grandparents,
yes.
it is, yeah.
Donald and Marjorie
Here's.
Pearson.
Cool.
I didn't see any further objections or concerns, so I just wanted to bring it to you for a final okay. So that's how we set up our policy.
I would move to approve the memorial plaque as proposed by the applicant Bennett Andrews.
Second. Good. Thanks, Rufus and Tom. Any other discussion from this point? Okay.
Did he know that he's welcome to make a donation as well towards the benches?
I'll encourage it.
Okay, because he was willing to buy one, so.
Yeah. I'll see if he'll propose the difference. That's a
Okay.
donation to.
Great. All those in favor? Motion passes. Item 6B, town manager contract. How we did this?
You didn't take a formal vote.
I do have one question, and maybe it's just me being stupid. Let me find it again. It was. I thought we had a conflict in a couple things that were said. So item 25 and 26. They seem to say two different things, but maybe I'm not reading it correctly. Under termination of employment. They won't ever come into play, but since they're in writing, let's make sure that. 25 says 9 months and the next, 26 says after 18 months, it goes down to 190 days.
No.
Well, this 25 is subject to a severance of no.
That's pretty much what 26 is. It sounds of it, but that's maybe I'm not.
No.
reading it.
Yeah, I did look at my prior contract and I looked at. I was looking back all the way to John Duke's contract and may have. Squished some things together. I don't mind pausing and bringing it back to you.
Well, and
Yeah,
maybe,
I need to reread this.
I don't think we need item 26. Do we?
right, I think that's just, it's a delete,
Delete.
26,
Yeah.
because 25 is what we agreed to.
Yeah.
I think the distinction was supposed to have been for cause and no cause.
Right, and 25 used to be a for cause reason, was explained there.
Right.
Took, merged them, so.
Yeah.
Didn't. reread it.
26 looks like if you're in the second half of the contract, then it's 190 days. Compared to 170 days. With the first half, with 25.
The first one's 270 days.
Yeah, 206,
Yeah.
so if you're. It kind of looks like me, but if you're in the first half, it's the 9 months or 270. If you're in the second half, you're at 190.
Right, I mean, that's not what was intended, so I just think we need to
Clean that up.
clean this up a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. And I don't know if we can approve it subject to a easy change or
No, just,
just reach
we've
it.
got another month,
Okay,
bring it to you in June.
it's fine either way.
Thanks for catching that.
Good, thank you. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Okay, so we'll set that aside, future business. Or unfinished business.
I didn't get a chance to read this before tonight.
No. Do you really want to?
No, but I will look through it.
Alright, so moving into that, new business FY 23, just on time.
Hallelujah.
So Kevin, you met with Ben
I did.
and he ran through it. You wanna give us some?
I mean, yeah, I'll give you a few things. I didn't invite him here. I'd rather him focus on getting that 2024 done and 2025 done. I'm just gonna point to probably 2 or 3 things that are important. This is far enough back now that it's not even all that helpful to us. But I think the starting point is looking at page 32. You jump to 32, that's schedule B2. That's our unappropriated surplus. This is the number we care about and we're thinking about allocating our,
Love how you think.
what's that?
That's exactly what I did.
It's the number you care about. It's the only number that
It's
you
the
care
only
about.
number that really matters.
I mean, the net position is important for rating agencies and things.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
But what matters to this town and to you ultimately is the 1.968. So it decreased a little bit, and it's mostly because of the appropriation of fund balance in the prior year
Mhm.
into this year. So that's what takes the hit. Your revenues were up, or your increases in. So revenues and the additional taxes brought it up to 228,000, but you also borrowed against yourself. So it went down a little bit. It's a little below where I thought it was gonna be at the end of when I was doing my calculations. There's a weird. I'm not even gonna be able to present all this to you tonight. I'm gonna come back to you at a future meeting to explain this, but. One of the revenues that you have control over after given approval by the town meeting is setting the revenues. One of the revenues to set is an assumption about what the municipal revenue share is. So the state every year is required by law, haven't done it every year for a long time, but they're close to it now. 5% of all sales tax that is generated is to go back to the municipalities. Based on a formula, and it's, part valuation, part population. There's another factor in there I can't recall off the top of my head. It has nothing to do with where the revenue is generated. So service center communities like Damascata, like Harbor, like Saco, other towns I've been involved with, they lose money from that, right? So they don't get the sales tax back. So it's a contentious formula, but it is what we have in place. Our revenue in the past has been. Give that out, here it is. In FY 24 was $373,000, and we had budgeted $325,000. So we'll call it $50,000 of additional revenue that came in.
Mhm.
However, Bill explained to me, and I'm very helpful for him to have done this. That is one of your assigned fund balances. It's not unassigned, it's assigned. You cannot use it for anything other than the tax benefit or the offsetting the tax revenue offset, correct? So what you have to do is if you want access to that money, you have to basically set up a one-time expense. So for my thought is, if we can't get these audits done in time for the next municipal bond bank in order to buy the fire truck, what we could do is pay for the fire truck and increase the revenue amount to be able to pull this money out of this account. And I'll explain that at another time, because
Good, because how much money's in that account?
at the close of this, I don't remember exactly which page it's on, but
Close of the audit,
close of this audit.
not close of today.
No, close of this audit is $353,259.
It just sits there until we decide.
You can't do anything with it unless you over plan for your revenue in this account line.
So we gotta carry that to the next year
That gets carried into,
as a surplus into.
it's as an assigned, but it's an assigned fund balance, it's not part of your unassigned fund
Exactly,
balance.
so when we figure out what our revenue, when we try to guess what our revenue might be for the next year. In theory, what we should do is probably write down that revenue by an extra 50,000 to make it balanced.
Correct, what I had historically done is think that extra $25,000 would go in the unassigned fund balance. So for 24 and 25, 24 it was about 50,000 more.
Oh.
And 25 it was $60,000 more. And 26 is looking like 25. So you have another $135,000 going into this account that otherwise could have been used in your unassigned fund balance or used to pay for one-time needs. So now you're gonna have about $485,000 sitting in this account when we get through to 2026.
In
Where's-
the revenue,
Where is it hiding?
It's sitting in an assigned fund balance account.
So it's not part of any of the numbers that we've looked at.
That I'd say that on page 32, we talked about that $2 million. As this is what you have available to you to take care of the rainy day,
Right,
right? Well, there's another 488,000 out there that you can't touch unless you in the next fiscal year. Say we're gonna plan to bring in. I currently budgeted 375. If you want all of it, you go budget, we'll call it 675.
And don't bring in 600.
And don't bring in 675. That's how you use that account.
that's crazy.
It is.
Okay,
And I wanna do a better job explaining that in a future
but
meeting.
is that's state regulation, so
state
we can't ask the town to move that money.
What you can do is ask the town to pay for the fire truck. But you can ask the town to pay for the fire truck just outright.
Yeah.
I don't even think you need to at this point. You just buy the fire truck. And at the end of the year, when we're over in that account, it's offset by what we set for this revenue in July.
But technically it counts as a budget line item. So it does fall into the 3% because we don't make a distinction between. Budgeted items and revenue items.
Correct.
So we could move 3% of the total budget.
Yep.
From that assigned account. To another assigned account. And the second thought I had while you were talking about all this, because I've known this for a while and it's always been an interesting conversation that no one's been able to answer for me. There are a lot of towns that just don't budget revenues.
Right.
They just don't. They only budget expenses.
Yeah, I know one town.
We didn't when I started.
Really?
Yeah. So how's the law apply if you don't actually budget it?
You don't have
It
access
doesn't.
to it.
You don't have access to it, or how's it even tracked? If you didn't budget it, there's no number against
Right.
which to,
You're right. All of it gets assigned.
all of it gets
Assigned.
assigned.
Yeah, you don't actually have.
But that's not how those towns use it.
I'm sure if they're looking at we've got to go look at their books.
Yeah, well, it's
It's
a
all our
quirk.
time.
It's an interesting quirk.
It is.
this crazy.
But most towns are too small, they just don't care. There's money left over at the end of the year, unassigned fund balance.
Even though it's not supposed to go into it.
Even though they probably moved on to it.
So why doesn't Bill
Well, it probably,
carry a line appropriated?
if they don't budget for revenues, it fall through.
He did. I have to remember where. He told me that was.
I like find, it's like, you put your jeans on in the fall and you stick your hand in your pocket and find a $20 bill. Looks like we just.
That
found
is
some
pretty
money.
much what this is. Yeah. So the only real thing about of relevance that came out of this conversation with Bill was. Going forward, starting in FY 27, is that I should have our finance director allocating. Interest into our reserve accounts. So it doesn't all fall into the general fund, it goes into those reserve accounts
Oh, the
as
interest
well.
levels.
The interest should be allocated to the reserve accounts.
If it's generated from that revenue, that money that's sitting there.
Yeah,
Kind of in
right
proportion.
now, it's just been dumped in the general fund as a revenue for the town.
Yeah.
It's still a revenue for the town, it just needs to be allocated to those reserve accounts. So that was the other thing that came from it.
So they'll grow.
They'll grow more the
Little bit
longer you
more.
keep money in there.
So on page 28. Where it says deferred.
That's it, right there, deferred revenue, sorry, yeah, that's it, 28, page 28. You see the
The
suspense
suspense
is 353,000,
Yeah.
259.
And okay, so you ran it out to 2026 based on our current budget if it passes.
No,
Oh, just through
that's
2025.
2027, I'm
Sorry.
just, yeah,
Through
closing out,
FY 2026.
I'm closing out based on where we are now. I
It'll
think
be
we'll
just
be at,
under half a million.
we will be just under $500,000, yes, yep. Sitting in that suspense account. So
I don't see why we couldn't ask the town as a warrant article. It's an account like any other account. It's assigned.
we're
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
mean-
spend this and know that well, in the FY 27 budget. When you set the revenues as part of your obligation for the tax rate. You set it high enough that it ends up coming out of that.
No, that's one way to do it. I'm just saying, another way to do it is just straight up warrant article.
To use it,
In some other
Yeah,
transfer
just
to
dump it.
another account
Just
or
put it on
whatever.
special meetings.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing,
We just move it.
it's an account like any other account.
Yeah, unless there's some language in state statute that says specifically we have to handle this. Certainly.
I will ask Bill. About the best way to get access to this without Rip saying on the flag.
But didn't you initially say we had to use it to offset taxes?
Technically, that's what I understand Bill was explaining to me. The law says that this is meant to offset the taxes. The revenue sharing is meant to offset taxes.
Then how do we use it?
So if you're under budget and you don't, because you would theoretically buy the truck with taxpayer money.
Right, yeah, you have to raise taxes to buy a truck, so.
And then you just raise your revenue amount. The only reason I don't like that approach is it's gonna look weird in the charts.
Yeah.
5 years from now, I'm serious, like 5 years from now, we're gonna go, what the heck?
We bought a fire truck.
No, like, why did we over budget 400,000 in that revenue line? I mean, we were never gonna hit it.
Yeah.
And if we're not sitting at this table.
I will be.
Well, that's good news. I mean, we'll have a warrant article we can point to too.
It's
Yeah,
true, yeah.
yeah, I think,
I just, and it's just, because I sat with Bill and I said, don't bother coming, focus on the 2024, is because I. Met with Bill to talk about trying to get these done in time for the next round, which is August.
Yeah.
He informed me that Fred is no longer working with him,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna work directly with Bill. And I did reach out to Tony again, and she's like adamant that if we have 24 and 25 done, because we've never done me involvement. So I really need to push to get those two done between now and then.
Alright, is there any other questions on this?
But everything looks, from your notes, everything, we
Yeah, I
classify
mean-
colors.
You
Yeah.
have no red flags, which is great, and huge kudos to Michelle for cleaning up the books by the time I got here, and how long it's been.
Yeah.
Being able to go back and remember what was done those years, and so huge kudos to Michelle.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the fiscal year 2023 audit report from William H. Brewer, certified public.
Second,
Thanks, Tom and Rufus. Any further discussion on this?
I'll just mention, there's a copy on the website and there's a hard copy here that will also be in the town office, if anybody wants to see it.
Any questions out there? Okay, let's take a vote. All those in favor? Motion passes 5 members. Item 7C, Harriet Gertrude Bird Clubhouse.
You missed.
Missed
You missed B.
You tour MMA.
Oh, shucks, that was by design, maybe it's Freudian. No, hold on, I just lost my. Okay, item 7B, MMA Legislative Policy Committee nomination, and so I volunteered again for another 2 years. Go represent District 13. He's one of two, so. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting process, you know. It's really tedious and honestly. It's tough to, you don't feel like you have much of a voice as a little player, and you know, there's some big hitters up there. That just have a lot, they have a lifetime of. A career of interaction with him. But still, it gives me sort of a chance to hear what's going on. Sausage is being made, so. Happy to do it.
You need more than 2 years to really find your voice there too, anyway.
Yeah, the first year, you're like, how does this work, you know? It's just process, you know, but, so anyway, it's nice to be able to advocate for something, you know, something that comes up, so.
Well, then I'll nominate Torben Denning to serve in the Maine Municipal Association's Legislative Policy Committee to represent the communities in Senate District 13.
Second that.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And if I remember correctly, in the future, we'll vote.
You will, the next meet, well, so what will happen is, any towns that submitted a nomination. Are sent to MMA, and they pull together the slate of interested parties. And then each town votes for them. So I'm filling out the form now, and since you nominated, you're gonna get to sign that, and you're gonna get to sign.
Excellent. Good, thank you, Tor. Nice.
No, you're welcome. Any discussion on that? Okay, great. All those in favor? Great, motion passes. Now, back to item 7C, Harriet Gertrude Bird Clubhouse and Playground.
It's like a little longer conversation.
I see we have, David here, you're still on that committee, aren't you, David?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know, Kevin, you went to a meeting there last week.
Yeah, the Hereford committee met last week to kind of just. I mean, we haven't opened the facility yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to get your approval on it, and set the rental for $75 a day. I'm sorry we didn't do this earlier. I wish we'd done it earlier in the year to have this discussion, but, we got in there. Earlier in the year, and just some of the challenges with the building not breathing and needing to be ventilated and needing to be warmed up and opening windows and. We did pay for a deep clean of the space. It is significantly better than it was. My other concern was, it could really use a paint job. Interior.
It could use a lot more than that.
I know, but just as a facility that's rented occasionally, it just could benefit from a paint job. Meeting with the committee, they agreed that could happen. Probably better to wait now until the fall, try to get the place open and let some folks use it. Have been requests, just help put them on hold. I provided sort of the items that were part of the conversation, just so you can see where our costs were. And one of the things that came up was, we never anticipated that the Harriet Bird would be such a revenue generator that would pay for itself. It's a community asset, not not supposed to be a revenue generator. Okay, I just sharing the information and trying to understand, is this. What do we want as a community? And it's not a lot of money, we don't. $2,500 a year for maintenance. We bring in about $300 a year for. Revenue generated from the use of the space, $75, which is a good deal for those who might be just looking for a 1-day use. There are 2 other accounts. We do have the reserve account specifically for it. We've used that to pay for a new roof as well as a new well drill. And then there's an account that was when Edna Verney passed away. There were many donations made, about $4,000 worth, and we've been tracking that through we have a savings account for that. They haven't decided what to do with the money yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to start talking about that in the future meetings. But one of the things that came up was they really do want to see a long range plan for the site. And have a discussion about what the site should entail or include.
Have they made suggestions?
I mean, there's suggestions about what should go there, but I think what I offer to do is, I'm starting this community Newcastle Next community engagement. One of the items I'm going to focus in on is civic space. So we're going to focus in a lot on how do we better utilize the veterans part, how do we better utilize Harry Bird. So there'll be survey questions that go out to the community. I'll work with the committee to develop the questions that go in as part of that. But I think the goal is to have something in front of you before the next fiscal budget. So we can talk about maybe something that gets included as part of FY 28.
Okay.
Wow. David, is that more or less?
I think that you covered pretty much everything we discussed.
So I just have lots of thoughts on this, but it's not meant to, so the rentals aren't in. I guess the opinion is not meant to cover the cost, but we have hardly any rental income, so it's not even close. It's an asset for the community, it's not being used. So we need to either use it or convert it to something else or get rid of it. I mean, in my mind, it either needs to be used, we need to do some things to make it useful, or
Yeah,
not
no, I
use it.
mean, we're here nor there with it. It's gotta be
Right,
something
it's-
or nothing, I guess.
Well, we technically can't.
What do you mean?
That was the perception we had of the meeting. I mean, and I was looking at the numbers of rentals that we had. It's been only like a bunch of rentals plus a few bean suppers. It feels short. It feels that we need to do something there.
Right.
And I agree with that. But I think also that change will be staying with the idea of using it as a playground. Is this something that it's also in that?
Yeah.
It was so definitely if we need to come with a project, we just had the first meeting. We're gonna be working the next months and probably we'll have to have more meetings than just once a month to come with something. Also, we don't know what you have in mind.
Mhm.
So I think it should be like a kind of a feedback from both sides to see that we're working on the right direction.
I think there's I guess needs or there's questions with another way to frame this. I think people would like to see that become something more than it is, which is basically just a meadow that we kind of just mow part of it. There's so much potential there. And I think it's kind of too bad that we don't have, a recreational facility that is the town of Newcastle's, the way I see it.
Yeah, we don't, like you said, you listed our civic spaces, Veterans Park and that. So if that is not getting used, we need to make it something that people want to use. And yeah, I think outreach is the way to do that and figure out. Yeah, is it a playground? Is it a dog park? Is it hiking trails? I mean,
All three.
there's 5 acres there. Like we could do a lot with that space.
Community center.
I mean,
Or
there's,
senior
yeah,
center.
there's, and I mean, what it is right now is a small community center. It's, I remember going to birthday parties there as a kid. And I think it's, it's quirky as it is. But I think there's a lot of opportunity there and, yeah, we just need to brainstorm some ideas and figure out, I don't think it needs to be a revenue generator at all. The fact that it provides 10% of its upkeep, great. I don't, I think it's a drop in the bucket for the town to have that space, but it would be nice if the space were.
Yeah.
There was more to do.
If, I think we have to. Whatever we come up with, have to know like approximately what the cost will be, and if people are willing to invest that much money in a space. That's unfortunately not super centrally located, but I think we could make it something that would draw people. to the
Yeah,
place.
exactly. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I've
You're working right
I've
now.
been working in that little village over the last couple of months quite a bit, and it's really gorgeous place to just spend some time.
Whatever consider, but your memory of being there for birthdays.
Yeah.
I mean, with my kids having gone through the ages of where are we gonna have our birthday
Birthday
party?
parties. Yeah,
And-
exactly.
If the town had that resource.
Yeah.
where, hey, for $75, you get a building and kids can run around in the field and you have this
And it's not in your backyard.
surface.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
you can set, I'll speak to my own brainstorming with one of my kids' birthdays just last week. It was bounced around between my wife a while back. It's like, where can we have a birthday party if he wants to have a birthday party? I went, well, the bird is inside space, we're in May.
Mhm.
So it's like 50-50 if it's gonna rain or not. So you have an indoor space, if you wanna set up games or a bounce house or whatever, you have all the room to do that. And you can fit 20 parents' vehicles and siblings and all that stuff so it's. He went a different route. I ended up going to Boston instead to go to the aquarium, but that was his decision, not the decision based off of the playground, so but that's. If people think that way, if it only takes a few people to start thinking, hey, why don't we reach out to the towns like that, it could be booked almost every weekend, some.
There were, and included in the packet, the second item had some responses related to.
Yeah.
To Harry Bird.
Yeah, I think it could be a really great resource for the town with a little bit of input. And, if we do come up with some creative things to add to it, you're the man to find grants. I mean, really, like, I bet there's
It seems
money,
like that's probably.
and there might even be private money. People,
Mhm.
wanna see the community have a space, and you put their name on a plaque on the bench, and they're happy to donate whatever it is they wanna donate to them. So I think it could be a great.
Or at the head of the trail.
Yeah, exactly, it could be a good community building activity to build a space for the community.
I think we should go, we're gonna have to put money into the building though.
Sure.
It's got issues,
Yeah,
and I think that maybe is what we need to work on for this year. Is getting budget, figure out what it's gonna cost to do something with that building.
yeah, but there should also be not just. We shouldn't spend the year just figuring out like the boring part.
Mhm.
There should be some dreaming involved too.
Yes.
Like we gotta go in both directions at the same time.
And maybe finding some people who are willing to do the work, volunteer to do some of the work and some of the research.
I think Dave was raising his hands.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Thanks, Dave.
No, it's just what you said. I think that we need to think in the short and the long distance. So there are things that need to be done this year. There are things that we need to fix and address this year, and then we need to have like a broader, thinking about what do we want for that space that has a lot of potential. And we're gonna come with some ideas to you, hopefully
Yes.
Yeah.
soon.
No,
And but I mean, I get your point. I think that will be something beautiful for the town. We don't have I don't think this town has a playground. I don't think this town has an area for the kids to enjoy, and it looks like maybe it's not in the center of the town. But the Wisconsin playground is not in the center either, and I don't think, having something like
Yeah,
as plasticky as the Wisconsin playground, we were thinking probably more, something more integrated in nature,
yeah,
that will be.
it's great.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Ben, when I said something, what my earlier statement, you said, no, we can't. What are you saying, no, we can't do?
We can't dispose of it.
Where do you get that information? Because there's no deed. I did research too, Kevin. I found the probate record that gives it to us, but there's no deed and there's no restriction in the probate record.
So I know there is because I've read it.
You read the will,
I read the will, I read the town article, and there's a deed.
where's the deed?
I can't find it. I did
I've
research
read it.
too.
I don't know where. It was years ago.
It's not in the courthouse records.
It's not in the,
I searched everything I could possibly search and it wasn't there.
someone pulled it out of the vault for me. That's what I,
Okay,
I mean, it's gotta have a deed somewhere, can't just be in. Just a piece of land.
It's not, it just shows who's had ownership of it, but there's no, nothing came out of probate showing that this went into the hands of the town of Newcastle.
Oh.
We've been acting like it's that in town of Newcastle. Well, there's no argument, at least from the committee, saying, well, it is the town of Newcastle.
but I don't know where you get the, we can't, we would never, we would be stupid as a town to accept a piece of property that we are never allowed to do anything else to dispose of it if we needed to. So-
we did not accept it with the condition that we could dispose of it if we wanted or needed to. We actually accepted it with a condition that's written here in the article,
What is, it doesn't say we can't get rid of it.
that such playground shall be known as the Harriet Gertrude Bird Playground, and two, that such playground shall be dedicated to the use of the community.
Right. It doesn't say we can't get rid of it.
Doesn't say we can.
I think that in the absence of it not saying that we can't, we can, that would be
Well,
my
that
thing.
would, disposing of it would violate the
And I'm not saying we should
dedicated
get
to the
rid of
use
it,
of
but
the
I'm just saying we
community.
need to know.
Yeah, I don't think we can. This was actually fought over when the then Sheepshead Fire Company wanted to build the fire station there on the corner.
Mhm.
And it was a big fight in this town about whether or not they could even be allowed to do that. And
And who ruled on that?
The judge ruled that they can't, if they went and did it in.
they did.
Oh, lovely.
So there's that.
So that's,
That's just.
yeah, technically there's a fire station in Sheepshead.
But I think we should have all of the legal information on this, because there's questions. And we should have an opinion on what our long-term responsibility is, just so we know. Because, reading it, I'm looking at the probate record right here, and it says mostly what was said in the what you just read, but
So
it
we
doesn't.
have another piece of property like that, just to the whatever it is. Southeast, northwest of Lincoln Home.
Yeah.
It's a 20-foot strip of land, 25 feet wide, goes down to the river. That was given to the town and accepted. With the condition that it was to be used for Newcastle residents to access the river.
Well, we're
You
not,
can't use it for anything else.
we're certainly not using it for that purpose.
No. But it exists there, and if Newcastle residents want to walk on it down to the river, they certainly can, and they have every right to.
It's not clear enough for people to even walk on it, is it?
I'm just talking about the legalness of it.
It's tough terrain too, it's not even.
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, I mean, we accept it that way. It's like, when someone makes a donation of something, money, financial or something like that. We to the town, and we accept it for that reason. For whatever reason they state, and we accept it that way. We can't then decide we're gonna use it for something else.
It sounds like a bad thing to accept then.
But that's
You
just the
just
way it
say no.
goes. You
But it
can't,
doesn't-
someone can't say, I'm gonna give you $500,000 to build a ball field. And then you go, great, thanks, we'll accept your $500,000 to build a ball field, but actually, we're gonna use it for this. Yeah, you can't do
I
that.
know, that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
But a piece of land is not a $500, $1,000 check either, so.
If it has all I'm saying is if it was accepted with conditions. you have to use it for those conditions. That's what the judge said when the fire department wanted to build on it.
Right, but no one was discussing selling it. They were discussing whether you could build a fire department on it, fire building.
We can get a legal opinion. I just don't think that that'd be a copy
No,
route to go down.
Yeah, I mean.
there'd be
I'm
some
not sure the
dissent.
point what you're getting at.
I'm
because
just,
I think it's still about, I mean.
no, I
the
do too.
Property for sure
do
is
too.
valuable.
I do
I
too.
think the building is questionable, what has to be, it's a questionable asset just because we're gonna have to do some renovations. I don't know, I haven't been in there since 3 years ago, since we had a meeting there.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't remember if it meets accessible code, which it would need to be.
There's a ramp on the back
Yeah,
of it.
but you know, people throw up ramps all the time. And, you know, I've heard there's mold issues. What do you think of the place, David?
I haven't been there since last fall.
Yeah.
So I don't know about the. But like,
No, this-
but I think, I mean, yeah, it needs to be
Needs to be renovated.
renovated, but they did a new roof.
Mhm.
That was a big expense. I don't think it need that much.
Yeah.
So, what do you think again?
It's really dated.
Well, it does need updating.
Yeah. Okay.
So
The bathroom's terrible.
we didn't, I don't know if we're still, I can't remember if we appropriated anything for it, but it was on the budget for years and years because in 11 or 12, Edna came to the town and said that she would really like to expand the building. And asked if we could start putting $1,500 a year aside.
So which
So
we
we did for,
do we have a,
You still are.
we still are, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the purpose of that 1,500.
by any chance, do we have $400,000 in that account there?
No, we have $13,000.
13,000.
We use it to fix the roof,
Yeah.
and we use it to fix the well.
She had the idea that, you know, we could put another building on the back or something like that. Anyway, that's what that's for. Yeah.
If we come up with some good plans, then. I just don't like. Things that. Are not neatly tied up with all of our understandings being.
Considered.
No, not consider, but more, we know what all of our options are, what our legal obligations are. And I just think that's a good thing for us to know.
Run it up the legal flagpole. I mean. It's probably a good thing to nail down.
Yeah, no.
It's it is kind of, if going through this and sort of taking that exercise on the other day. There are documents here, there's documents there, some online, but the full picture is not available. And having some help with that might have value.
Mhm.
Okay.
Someone might be able to, maybe someone from the committee can try to chase down the deed if it exists, because it's not online. And, you know, Pauline Fenno has a whole page of deeds and all of that other stuff, but that's not there.
Yeah, that's
Nothing to the town. I even searched town of Newcastle, everything, and it's not there.
So it's really interesting because I swear I'm right.
And you would think there would be one,
Yeah.
so. Somebody write it on the back of a napkin and.
No, it wasn't this language, it was,
there's click that link.
yeah, that's the will, I'm reading the will. Yeah, I read that, okay. Yeah.
So there's a possible motion to open.
Yeah.
The birdhouse, but.
Something very immediate to
The
you.
birdhouse.
But, yeah. Are we ready to do that? I mean, is it okay to do that?
Yeah, I mean, Thomas has done a lot of work to get it up and running.
Yeah, I mean, between what I had done, I mean, the basement got cleared up, that was not, yeah, I cleaned up after. Scrubbed some things and put the dehumidifier in and stuff like that, but. No, I mean, it's.
Had a deep clean
it's-
since then.
Yeah, it's some of the stuff, some of the, quite a bit of the excess. Stuff has been removed. I know that at one last. Up until some point last year, there were 2 stoves in there and they. They removed one, so it's. Everything's been. Decluttered, for the most part, and it's a usable, it's a serviceable space and everything like that, it's just, yeah, it. Could use some painting and updated and stuff, but nothing that's gonna keep it from. Operating.
It felt, I went in there 2 weeks ago, it felt very clean.
Yeah. And the other thing we did ask, so I did share with the committee, I don't necessarily have the staff capacity to run out there every time somebody does rent it. They have committed to making sure that as long as we communicate well, they'll stop in and take a look and determine whether or not the. Because what we have is it's $75 to use and we put down another 125.
Hmm.
If it's clean, you return the key, you get your 125 back.
Mhm.
So I need somebody to go, someone from who lives out there who can stop in and check after an event. And make sure that it is to our standards. We have policies, we have all that stuff written out, there's no question about that, it was. Pretty gnarly when I went in like March, was thinking to myself, some things need to change before we open this.
So do we need to take action on this? Because we never have before.
No, I just wanted your,
It's just kind of a statement.
it is,
Yeah.
yeah, I held off till I at least had a conversation with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should probably open it, cause 'tis the season.
Okay. Oh, it's already,
It's my favorite.
already missed probably one or two for this, at this point.
So it's not. Waiting on it.
Okay. Now, take a motion, I'll open.
Okay.
Just I'll charge $35 a day.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's move on. Item 8. Fiscal warrants, item 8A. $526 AP warrant for $375,691.11.
I'll move to approve the fiscal warrant for that.
Second. Discussion?
It's mostly all schools.
Yeah, let's call them.
Okay, any other discussion points? All those in favor?
Yep.
Motion passes, thanks.
Have you sent in your bill yet?
No.
Your fiscal,
Alright, I'm done that.
okay, just wanna make sure you do.
Shall I always sign this? How about
If they have enough zero here, but,
Oh, boy.
oh, just an FYI, the fish are not running very well this year.
I know
Really?
this. I thought
Last
so
year
just-
too, right?
Last year was terrible, this year's been terrible so far. There were a couple days when they ran pretty well, and then I went down yesterday. Hardly fish to be found
You
anywhere.
don't think it's just because it's cold? Water's colder than normal?
The temperature dropped a little bit with the rain, but the temperature got up fairly decently, enough so the fish should be running. It dropped down to like 60 yesterday, but I'm a little worried, we need the money. And the poor lobstermen sit there for a couple hours and then it's like, okay, the first guy gets some fish and the rest of you go home.
What?
Yeah,
What's affecting the? No.
we
don't
need a
know.
fish whisperer, we don't,
Mm.
Mark doesn't know, I don't know, let's just hope that it picks up soon, but they're not, Mark says he normally I can see schools of them in the lake. But not the numbers that we normally have, and Mark said he can't see them, like the big schools are normally in the Salt Bay. I'm here somewhere, and he can see them normally,
River
and and he can normally see them, but there's not many out in the bay even right now, so. He said a lot of the other little towns are having the same problem, the Kennebec River's great, but all of, he named like 3 or 4 other little towns that are seeing the same thing we are.
Hmm.
So hopefully it picks up in the next couple of days.
Some of it have to do with how bad last year was, you just don't have as many coming back.
No, because they don't come back until they're about 3 years old, so we had a really good crop 3 years ago, they should all be coming back now. So, fingers crossed, we need some revenue.
Kevin, do you wanna run over?
Well, that was depressing.
I'm sorry, just thought you should know, we don't want any expectations.
I mean, there's a lot of need that the facility needs,
Yeah,
so there'll be some conversation around that coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start a weekly conversation series, and so to Thursday, we're gonna have a pizza party here to kind of kick this off. But we have a lot of topics to talk about, and I really want to get community input and buy-in for these things that are coming up.
So it's here.
It's here.
Did it
Well,
say that anywhere?
probably not. I probably forgot
Yeah,
that.
I thought it was gonna be a tennis cup, but you're saying.
Oh, no, that's coffees. I'll get there in a
Mhm.
minute. So I'm gonna have a pizza party here on Thursday from 11:30 to 1. So we're gonna recap what we heard from the 6 listening sessions. I already have a presentation available if you want to take a look at it, what we heard and what it means. Lisa did a phenomenal job putting that together, and I really want to kind of follow that as sort of our guideline as we think about the changes that may be available to us in the future. So our first priority is focusing on what was the Village Partnership Initiative. We had a pre-engineering study we did last April. I'm gonna dust it off and kind of talk about it. I got Emily Rowdy coming in to help have a conversation because she was instrumental in shepherding it through the process. We're gonna talk about this because there's main DOT included in their congressional discretionary spending request to Susan Collins to include this project as part of their package. And Susan Collins is moving forward $7.5 million for it. DOT will come out another share of that, and then we'd be responsible for a little less than $1 million for a $10 million project. So it's a win-win, but we just also need to get the community to support it. So we'll look to have an August 10th special town meeting to address that matter. But I want to make sure that people understand what this is and what we're trying to do with it in terms of enhancing the economic development of our downtown. And pedestrian safety too. So you haven't noticed the painting still hasn't been done yet.
I know, damn spotted, there's done.
That's because they have staff who did it themselves rather than relying on a subcontractor.
Yep.
I mean, the details are still over a year away. And we might talk a little bit about what could be there, but it's mostly pipe dreams because it's DOT who's going to come in and say, here's our engineering study. What do you want out of this? That'll come after we get the funding. So this is more about just lining up, making sure we're supportive of this project going forward at some point. So we'll also do some brief overviews of what else is in store for weekly conversations this summer and fall. There's Mills Road housing development, the town office, maybe moving that up here or fire station or firefighter housing, accommodating that too here. A joint public works department with Damerscata. We presented something now 2 months ago, but now we need to get into the details and have some community conversations around that. The Glidden Street stormwater and streetscape redesign. That's going to happen in early fall for discussions, as well as Liberty Street, Pleasant Street stormwater and streetscape redesign. The retaining wall is falling in and we got to address that. I am applying for a grant to have the engineering work on that one paid for. So, and then the use of civic space. We just talked a little bit about Harrisburg. That's one, and then obviously the Veterans Park as well. So there's a lot to talk about in our community, which is a good thing. So that's why we're hosting weekly conversations. My intent is to have some meetings here, but I'm also going to have open office hours as long as the Historical Society is supportive of this.
Yes.
In front of the Taniscott.
There you go.
I'll bring my coffee pot, make some coffee and hang out, talk about these items with folks if they want to attend.
This is my idea.
I know,
this
except
turning into-
Kevin's coffee pot.
I'll bring my coffee pot,
Yeah,
but it's fine.
we need an espresso machine.
I don't have one, you can bring yours. If you'd like to come, so the first event is this Thursday here at 11:30. I'm gonna order pizza. There's a link to RSVP. I got about 20 people who signed up already, so it's kind of exciting.
How do you cover all these items? Like, is it each
One-
meeting? will
Each
be-
meeting might be a different topic or 1 or 2 topics or recap the topic we discussed already. Yeah, there's a lot to come at us, but that's why I'm doing this weekly.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a kickoff. Next week will just be VPI. And the following week will just be housing. And then it'll be the coffee and conversation about those topics. And then we'll jump into the other ones. Some of it's timed related to when I know we'll get like the design work for Glidden Street won't be ready till September. So that's a little further out, so I'm really gonna focus it, and when it comes to public works, if we're gonna have something on a November ballot. We have to have stuff lined up early fall, so July, August, we'll talk a little bit more about public works. So, yeah,
And,
it's kind of
and if we're gonna be looking for a special town meeting on,
August 10th,
what,
August 10th.
you've got it scheduled already?
No, you guys have to approve one, but that's the date I'm aiming for.
Great, I mean, I think we should, present that while we're talking, in other words, so people know what.
Yep,
their
it's, yeah,
task is to come back and.
Yep.
Vote.
it's in the presentation for Thursday. Good. So I'm doing this in order of the things that are coming up. So next is Build Maine. Still haven't heard from all my select board members or planning board members about if they're interested in attending. To hear from a few, so if you're interested, it is 2 days. The more interesting conversations are probably on Wednesday the 3rd. So if you're interested and can make it up next Wednesday, please let me know. We sponsor the event, so all of our elected officials, appointed officials, and staff are get a free ticket.
Are you talking this year?
I am speaking on the 2nd.
What's your talk?
Why did they put you on the, I want you on the better day?
I'm not that important. I'm expanding on what I spoke about last year, and I'm working with a planner who's done some incredible work with this in Elliott.
Yep.
No, Berwick, Maine. He has basically taken that concept and changed the zoning to focus in on where the areas are that are gonna generate revenue for the town if it's further developed. They really honed in on it. So he and I are gonna tag team that, and then we're also speaking with Tracy Gear, who's a legislator who's done a lot of efforts on some of the housing stuff. But how to translate locally, instead of forcing it up the chain to the legislature, how can we change things locally within zoning? So
It didn't look like there were, I'm surprised you're on Tuesday, because it didn't look like there were many speakers.
there's just a couple of concurrent sessions. It's like 2 concurrent sessions. It's okay. It's okay. It's sponsored.
I'm just saying,
Me and 10 other towns. Yeah. The next is there's a Community Resiliency Partnership Summit. So the Community Resiliency Partnership is a state program which Newcastle is a partner. They provide access to state grants, the community action grants that we've been applying for. They're meant to address resiliency needs. So they're hosting a Stronger Community Summit on Wednesday, June 10th, to showcase success stories around the state, including our battery backup system and the community battery lending program. So I'll be speaking at that. And this event will take place at the Wells Conference Center all the way up at the University of Maine in Orono. If anybody's interested in attending, they can sign up at that link. Happy to carpool. Early voting, absentee ballots are now available for the June 9th election. You can get your ballot online at the state website, or you can stop in the office and apply in person or take a ballot home. You can even vote in person in the office. The little conference room we have is available for folks to do that. We're encouraging residents to consider voting absentee, because there's 3 ballots to vote on for this election. And the big change for at least this year is the municipal warrant articles will be voted by ballot. And I have a link there to the annual town meeting warrant, all the questions that are there. So in order to avoid long wait times on election day, please consider absentee ballot. Next is the Planning in the Wild series. This is being put on by Lincoln County Regional Planning Commission. Their first session is on vegetation management, and that's on June 16th, 4 to 6. You can learn about reducing fire risk, controlling invasive species, and protecting public and personal property. Office will close early on June 3rd at 1. They have to process early absentee ballots, and the same staff who do the elections are the same staff who do all the other front office work. So I have offered to have them do that. And then I mentioned the congressional discretionary spending already. And we've submitted our elective pay, so I'm hopeful that the total project cost of the battery backup system was $109,000. We got that community action grant through the Community Resiliency Partnership that paid for 43,000 of it, which was batteries themselves and the installation of those. And now we still are eligible for the elective pay, so it's an IRS overpayment. It's like if we had paid taxes, which we don't as a municipality, we would get 30% of the value of the project back. So it's an overpayment that IRS is just will write us a check for $32,000. So that 109 minus 43 minus 32, we have our share of a $109,000 project is $33,000, about 30%. So if you were to look at our electricity bills last year, we spent $11,500 on electricity bills. So if I look at our ROI for that period of time, it's less than 3 years. We'll pay for that. It'll pay for future savings.
If the sun shines enough for us to cover all of that.
It does, because you build your system larger than what your capacity, your need is, your current need. Now, if you go and start charging all your cars with it and adding more electrical components, yeah. But we have so much real estate on the roof of this fire station. If we want to add more panels at a later date, we can.
Oh, good.
Then just the battery lending program. Please, if you are a resident who sees your power loss occasionally during storms, or please come in and talk to us. We have 27 of these batteries. There's 18 of them in this office, 9 of them in the main office. All you have to do is sign a waiver, do a quick training, and then you can come borrow one before a storm. And you can use it until the storm's over and your power is restored. So battery lending program, please take advantage of it. We only have a few residents who signed up so far.
I just want to point out. By the way, getting those grants, getting all that, doing all that legwork to get us all that money, it is awesome. 2.86 is incredible.
Yes.
But I just want to point out, even if we didn't get any money, less than 10 years is a really good ROI.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So, yeah.
It was a no-brainer, and it was really incredible to see that the town came out and voted in favor of just us allocating the upfront costs out of our fund balance to do this. Just means a lot, really does.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we got the state grant for the 43,000.
Good work.
Links to Lynch Road detours, they're wrapping that project up. I don't have another one since the last meeting, but they're wrapping that project up. Then I mentioned some future agenda items. The one that matters most to me right now is Backyard Butchers just submitted another request to go and Louis Dose. It's the frozen truck of meat. And they asked, do you need us there at the meeting? Or do you want them
Yeah,
there?
do we have a open-ended vendor permit on that, or is it
No, it's every year.
every year, right?
Yep, so they've submitted an application, they just asked, do we need to be there? I have to set up the. If you recall, he was walking on the.
Yeah, no, it was on. I mean, we don't.
I don't think he needs to
He doesn't need to be.
Okay,
read it here.
They submit it. We do it.
okay.
Quick question, the information that you attached on with the Harriet Bird Clubhouse stuff about Veterans Park. So many people mentioned picnic benches. Do we have money in the reserve account still for that Veterans Park?
We do have money.
Well, I know we don't have any money in our regular budget. I'm wondering, do we want to consider getting a couple of them? I don't want to wait until fall, so we either have to do it now or next year. I'm gonna have to figure out where we put them and buy them
We
away.
have $6,800 in the veterans.
Is something we want to talk about right off. Somebody mentioned it and it's like, that's a good idea. There's no place to sit outside
Sure.
in town.
Well, there was a picnic table behind the town office, but it rotted and I had to cut it up.
Yes,
Take it to the dump.
it did. It was not nice in the end. So I don't know if we want to talk about that in the next meeting or not, but
Just tell me to do it.
I think it's a good idea.
Get a picnic table,
or
Two.
two.
2 picnic tables.
So we have to walk around and figure out where to put them, that they won't be in the way of the mowing. but I think there's a couple spots that,
Okay, I'm talking,
on the back path.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense to me.
but I want some assembly to be, some assembly required, because I want something to do.
we'll just go pick them up,
It
at-
is pretty.
yeah, rebuild.
I've got a trailer and we can just throw one, put it on at a time. Dump it, deliver it.
Go start shit, don't dump it.
That did come out right.
That was completely off topic, but just made me think about it.
Alright, is that all? That's all, right?
That's it.
That's it.
Well, do have an intern starting next Monday.
Oh, great, you did get one.
I did.
Who,
His name is Theo Rusen. I'm gonna butcher his last name.
spell it.
Ruehsen.
I would guess.
Okay. He'll be focused, we're sharing him with Dan Riscotta.
Right.
His title is Infrastructure and Asset Management Intern. He is focused on collecting data for us on our assets. Our culverts, our guardrails, our road inventory again. This has been, we had a snapshot done a couple years ago. We're gonna do that again.
2 winters does change our road inventory,
And we've done work to it too.
right?
Spent a significant amount of money. Let's make sure that.
Yeah.
It's looking good.
Hopkins Hill Road, whoa, I drove down it, it's like the difference between night and day.
New road.
Okay, so that's all, folks. Without objection, meeting adjourned at 8:08.
Yeah, we come right around to an hour and 7 minutes.